and welcome, you beautiful bookish people. Today is gonna be a super chill video. We're gonna go through every single book that I read in 2025 and I'm gonna be tier ranking them. Not by like 1 star to 5 star. I'm talking like weirdly specific ranks. And I will just give you a heads up, I won't be doing like any sort of synopsis or telling you what really the book is about as I'm talking about them. So if you're looking for like in-depth reviews of all the books that I'm reading, this is probably not for you. You should definitely check out my monthly reading wrap-ups because I do go into detail about what the books are about. But I wanted to be super casual today. I've barely got any makeup on. My hair is slicked back because it is hair wash day and I need to get my stuff together. And it is overdue to talk about every single book that I read. Granted, yes, I know I do monthly reading wrap-ups, but this is more fun to rank them like this. You kind of get my raw, unfiltered thoughts just like in the moment. I have not really prepped for this at all. I have no idea what I'm gonna say for these books, so it's just gonna be very spur of the moment. So without further ado, let's get into today's video. Here are the tiers that I have set up. The top tier is gonna be I will never shut up about this, aka this is God tier, top tier. I will forever have these stories inked in my soul. I will always be rereading them, will never get enough of them. I love the characters with my whole heart. This is it. This is what makes me me. The next tier is gonna be I had the best time. So probably some 5 stars, maybe high 4 stars. Something that it's not like my favorite thing in the world, but I would definitely recommend it. I would reread it and I'm obsessed with the stories, but maybe not so much as to like, I would get a tattoo for this. My top tier is gonna be I will probably get tattoos for these series. The next one is this was good. So like, it's not bad. It's not phenomenal. I had a good time. I read it. This was good. You know, simple. The next is I had fun, but I've not thought about it since. These are like in the moment, I probably got like a little caught up in the story and I rated it highly, but like looking back on it, I'd probably rated it a little lower because I really just not had it on my mind. The next one is just meh. Like it's not good, it's not bad, it's not anything crazy. Like I didn't hate it, I didn't give it 1 star, but like I didn't have that great of a time. The next one is why did I read this? AKA I probably should have DNF'd it. And the last one is I actually did DNF it. Now, I'm gonna let you know, I think I had like 13 or 14 DNFs this year. And I'm actually, now that I'm looking at all of the books that I have uploaded, which I'm not gonna go through every single book I read one by one because I'm just gonna, like if I read a series, I'm just gonna include the first book in the series and I'll touch on the next book, but I'm not gonna go into detail on every single one because that would take forever because I think I read somewhere between 85 and 90 books. Goodreads tells me I read 90 books, but I don't know if that's accurate because I think some of them were DNFs. So I started 90 books this year. I guess that's a better way to put it. But looking at this list, my first couple are DNFs. So we're gonna flip-flop, okay? So let's get into it. I'm actually gonna start at the bottom. We're gonna start with Air of Storms. I honestly, I'm gonna put it at this was good. This one really surprised me because I wasn't expecting to love it as much as I did. I'm not a huge YA fan because a lot of the times some of the stories feel like super surface level and I want something deeper. I want like more intense romance than just like surface level stuff. But this was so much fun. It was good. And I have thought about it since. Granted, I went to Romantic BookCon and the author Lauren Hamilton Murray literally recognized me because I had posted about it on my social media raving about it. So I'm like, that's so cool. I loved it. This was good. I cannot wait for the rest of the series. I think it's gonna get better and better as we go. Now this next one, Mageborn, I DNF'd it. I tried the audiobook and for whatever reason, I don't know if I was just in the wrong mood or what, but it felt very like, a lot of these DNFs that I have felt very info dumpy. Like I love when stories, they go heavy into world building, but they world build with the characters interacting with the world. Like it's not like they sit you down, tell you all this information and then get to the story. It's like you're thrown into the story and you're learning about it as you go. And I think that's what kind of put me off of this one, which was unfortunate, but it is what it is. City of Gods and Monsters is going, you should not be surprised about this one. This one is, I will never shut up about this series. This This is a series that really got me hooked on urban fantasy. Oh, I don't talk about it. I talk about it way too much, but I also don't talk about it enough. I can't explain to you the feelings that I have for the series. It is so good. Each of the books are like over 700 pages, which I'm obsessed with because there's so many times where I'll read a book and I'm like, I wish this was longer. I wish we had more. And since I love the characters so much, we got so much time with them and I love it. Never shut up about it. It's so good. I'm gonna pick one from the middle because I don't want to go back and forth like that. We're gonna go with Metal Slinger. I think I'm gonna put this at I had fun, but I've not thought about it since. I got like really caught up in the TikTok hype because it was going viral and everybody said like the ending was crazy, which the ending was, it was surprising, but honestly, like I think I built it up in my head too much. And when I read it, it wasn't as crazy as I wanted it to be. And so I think I rated it like 3.75 stars, which is really good. I honestly probably couldn't give you a detailed like what this book was about. It's not meh, like it was good. And I'm excited for, what is it, Lightbringer or something? Light Wielder? Yeah, I think it's Light Wielder. I'm excited to read it. Now I'm gonna go back to the bottom. I am gonna put Hollow at, I'm going back and forth between meh and I've had fun, but I've not thought about it since. Oh no, it might be this was good because I have thought about it since. I don't know, I'm just gonna put not thought about it because it's not very much thought. I am not gonna lie to you, I had really high hopes for it, but I wasn't super impressed, and I think it's another one of those I got caught up with the hype because the Twisted Sisters are like super renowned and they are notoriously famous for writing crazy endings, and they promised a crazy ending, and this one it was like, I don't know, it was fine, but also I was kind of bored because it was a very repetitive plot, and it was basically like they were in the forest trying to find these amulets from spirit animals like the whole time. No, I'm gonna put it under meh because I have thought about it since, but it wasn't good. No, it was good. I don't know, I gave it 3 stars. I'm gonna move on. Going back to the top of the list, Broken Souls and Bones. I DNF'd. Guys, I'm so sorry. I know LJ Andrews is a very popular author, and I do actually plan to read her other series. I think it's, what's it called? The Ever King or something? And I've heard really good things, but it was honestly the audiobook for me for this one. I DNF'd because of the audiobook. The audiobook was so bad. Oh my God. I hate it when narrators do accents. I'm like, can you just use your regular voice and then like explain the story that way? Because, it was duet narration, which I was super excited about because I love duet narration, but the guy I think was Australian and he was super hard to understand. And then the girl had a normal voice, but then when her character spoke, she had like some sort of Irish accent. It was weird. And I was very much struggling to get into it. I had the physical copy. I probably should have just read the physical copy and I'm sure it probably would have been fine, but I also like wasn't super invested in like the immediate story. So like, yeah, Dana. I might come back to it. I highly doubt it. Okay, going back to kind of the middle. Okay, I'm gonna put Reign of Shadows and Endings up here next. I am gonna put it at I had the best time. That might come as a surprise because I rave about this series. I love it so much, but I think the thing is I loved Lady of Darkness more. I'm actually gonna grab Lady of Darkness and I'm gonna put that I will never shut up about this. I read Lady of Darkness first, and I highly recommend that you read it before Reign of Shadows and Endings, partially because you'll basically get Lady of Darkness spoiled if you start Reign of Shadows and Endings first, but also I personally prefer Lady of Darkness over Reign of Shadows and Endings just because I think I like the characters a little bit more. Regardless, Melissa K. Roerick is one of my all-time favorite authors. I will read anything that woman writes because she is so phenomenal, and I just had the best time. It was so good. It was really dark. It was very twisted, and like I've never read a series quite like it, and I think it was so good, and I think everybody needs to read it, and I think I'm not gonna put it at the top just because I liked Lady of Darkness more. Going back to the top of the list, Savage Blooms. I DNF'd that, unfortunately. I got like 25 to 30% of the way through, and it just gave me a really weird vibe. And it wasn't because of like trigger warnings, because listen, I've read some dark romance, I've read some really twisted stuff, but it was almost like, not horror, but just creepy stuff. And I don't do creepy. I don't watch horror movies. I don't watch thrillers. I don't watch high stakes scary things, okay? I'm a very like visual person and I have a very vivid, like I can see things. I'm not schizophrenic, guys. But I don't know, something was off about it for me. So I DNF'd. The next one I'm gonna talk about is Mate. I am gonna put this under meh. I think it was fine. I liked Bride more. And in the moment, if I had Bride on here, I read Bride in 2024. That one probably I would have put under I had fun, but I've not thought about it since. In the moment, I gave it 5 stars. And looking back on it, I don't know why I did. And I know that sounds harsh, but like, I don't know. I guess it just wasn't really for me. I'm not a contemporary romance reader, and it was very much on par with those feelings, regardless of the fact that it was a paranormal romance. I don't know. I had fun. It was fine, but like, I wouldn't read it again if that tells you anything. Next one, Silver Cloak. I'm gonna put this one, oh, here's the thing. I'm gonna put it under I Had the Best Time. I will say I liked Rain of Shadows and Endings more than Silver Cloak. Silver Cloak was so good. I really enjoy the unique magic system. I've just not read anything like this, and it felt like I made a TikTok recently that explaining books badly, and I included this book, and the thing that I explained it poorly with is Mafia Wizards, and that's all I need to say. Riftborn was a DNF. Guys, I know you're gonna yell at me and you're gonna tell me, oh my god, just make it to Duskbound, just make it to the Ascended, it's so much better. Guys, I'm not that kind of person. I am not a person that if I DNF something because I don't like it, I'm not gonna keep going in the series. No, if I don't like the first book, I don't think I'm gonna like the second book. I didn't like the characters. I think the plot was messy, kind of felt like it was going nowhere. I got like 50 or 60% of the way through and I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it and I wasn't gonna push through, and I don't know if it's worth it to go through to Duskbound and the Ascended, because if I don't care about the characters, then I'm not gonna care about their story. Sorry. Ha ha ha. Next one I'm gonna choose out of the list is the Book of Azrael. I will never, ever, 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 ever shut up about this. Guys, oh my god. I read this in December? Maybe late November. Holy crap, was it good. And I put it off for so long because I knew it was gonna be good, and then I read it and then I was like, oh my god, I'm completely obsessed. I read all 4 books that are out. Recently found out that it's gonna be a 7-book series. We got 3 more books, guys. Oh, it's gonna kill me. No, but it's so good. It's so dark. The FMC is the morally gray, which I guess, okay, the MMC is morally gray too, but like, she's like actually morally gray, which I love. And it is true enemies to lovers. Oh my god. I love it. I love it. Picking another random one, I'm gonna go with Amid Clouds and Bones. That one, just meh. I rated it, I think 3 stars or 2.75 or something. And it's a standalone, and I read it as a palate cleanser because I heard good things about it. And I just like, I'm not gonna lie to you, I didn't understand the ending. I was really confused and it did not do what I wanted it to do. So it's staying under meh. The next one I'm gonna choose specifically because we don't have anything in the why did I read this category. Lady Macbeth by Ava Reed. Guys, why? I don't know why I didn't DNF this book. I read the whole thing. I think I ended up skimming some of it, but I read it. And oh my god, I hated it. If I'm being totally honest with you, I thought it was so bad. I've never felt this way about a book. I finished it and I was like, oh, I can take a deep breath now because holy crap. If I read something by an author and I don't like it, I'm not gonna go read their other stuff because each person writes with a very specific style, and I didn't like this style of writing. So I was like, you know what? I'm just never probably gonna read A Study in Drowning because I've heard really mixed things about that too. So yeah, definitely why did I read this? We're just gonna get this next DNF out of the way. Pawning Pandora. This was another one that it was so info dumpy at the beginning. It was a Greek mythology kind of book. And in the beginning, the main character, she's a girl, is basically, I think she's like part human and is living with the gods, and like the gods are teaching her stuff. And the first part of the book was her just going to classes and learning about their history. And I was like snoring. I was like, can we find this out in a different way? Like, it was one of those info dumping, like, I'm gonna give you all this information and I'm gonna try to put it in her classes so it seems natural, but like it was not natural at all. Okay, next one, Quicksilver. I'm gonna put this one at this was good. I was going back and forth between I had the best time and this was good because when I reread it, the first time I read it, I gave it 5 stars. When I reread it, I gave it 4. And I think it was another one that I was kind of just caught up. Because a lot of times, if there's like a crazy ending, I rate books higher. Like even if during the book I was thinking like, oh, this was fine. If there was like a shocking ending, I'm like 5 stars, which is probably a toxic trait of mine. But I thought it was good. I liked Brimstone more, actually. I think I gave Brimstone 4.25 stars or something like that. Yeah, I liked it. It was fine. It was good. I'm gonna reread it, but only for the reason to catch up after like the next book comes out, you know? The next book is In the Veins of the Drowning. I think I'm gonna put this under why did I read this? Because it was another one that like it felt cliche when I was reading it and it was predictable. And I hate it when books are predictable because I'm not the smartest person on the planet, okay? I did not guess Feyre's riddle, okay? I don't think super hard about it. Granted, for the Sarah J. Maas universe, I have a 148-page Google document with citations and notes on my thoughts about how everything connects. So yes, I can think critically about books and very in-depth. But when I start feeling like, oh, this is obvious, that's a red flag to me. Because I don't usually guess crazy plot twists, but I was guessing everything that was happening in the book. I didn't enjoy it. I heard really good things about it, and so I was just really disappointed by it. But, you know, moving on. Next one is On Wings of Blood. Guys, I feel so terrible. Literally my biggest category is DNF. That's so bad. I'm just somebody like, I'm not gonna waste my time if I'm not enjoying this. And for On Wings of Blood, I felt like I was wasting my time because I did not like the FMC. This is the first time I could confidently say like, I just didn't like the female main character. I don't know. It's fine. The next one is Warrior Princess Assassin. That one's gonna go under meh. I thought it was fine. I honestly like, it was another one that like I was just bored. I wish there was more politics included in it. I wish there was more time to feel the chemistry between the characters because this is a throuple. Like, and I was like super thrown off by it. I thought it was gonna be a why choose, but like, no, it's a throuple. And I think that just like, it's just not for me. The Wind Weaver. I'm gonna put that under this was good. I had a lot of fun. I don't think it's my favorite thing in the world, but I will say the Sea Spinner I just finished like a week ago. I would have put that, I would put that under, I had the best time. I thought it was so good. There was a love triangle that was established in the Wind Weaver that was explored more in the Sea Spinner and it went exactly the direction that I wanted it to go. She has her moment where she like trains and comes into her power. And I think the concept is very much reminiscent of Avatar: The Last Airbender with the fact that there are 4 remnants in this world. Each of them can wield one element and there's only one of them in the world at a time. So if one dies, they reincarnate as somebody else and they are fated to come together and restore the balance of magic in their world. I know I told you I wasn't gonna do synopsis, but here we are. Yeah, it was one where I was like, oh my gosh, this was good. I'm invested. I want to know the next story. And sure enough, it's getting better and better and better. So I would definitely recommend the series. The next one, Birth of a Dynasty. I had the best time. 5 stars. I thought it was so good. This was a fantasy story set in a like fictionalized Africa and I just loved these characters so much. It's about this young boy who at the beginning of the book I think is like 8 years old, but during the majority of it is like 13, 14 years old. So it's, oh my God, it's an adult book. It's not like Percy Jackson-esque or like it's like a middle grade book. No, this is an adult book and I thought it was so good. The audiobook is fantastic. It is the only time that I will accept accents in the audiobook. I thought it was super immersive. The world was so rich. It was more high fantasy in the sense that like there were some very complex politics and stuff at play and it was almost like Game of Thrones level politics and I thought it was just so good. Terror at the Gates. This was good. This was so good. It was another one that kind of shocked me and I was a little bit on the fence about reading it because because I grew up in the church and I have experienced some not so great things in the church world. And this dealt heavily with themes of like religious trauma and stuff. But no, it was so good. I think some of the issues that were brought up in it and how she talked about these things was so good in the middle of an urban fantasy book. Like it was, and that, I think that's part of why I loved it so much, is because it was urban fantasy. But yeah, had the greatest time. I loved it so much. The Predator. I'm gonna put this under I had the best time. I don't read a lot of dark romance, guys. This is the only mafia romance series that I have ever read. I actually just finished the last book yesterday because I was kind of spacing it out as my palate cleansers. And oh my God, these characters, I love them so much. It was so good. I will be thinking about this one for a long, long time. The irresistible urge to fall for your enemy. I'm gonna put this under I had fun, but I've not thought about it since. This was a very interesting read because I feel like it was written in a very unique way. It was very humorous and it was fantasy, but it was sophisticated, and I felt smart reading it. And it was the cadence of the writing was a little bit weird to get used to at first, but I'm excited for the next book. I think it's gonna be a duology. I think it was the fan fiction that this was based on was the Hermione fiction Draco Malfoy and the terrifying ordeal of falling in love or something. The mortifying ordeal? Yeah, mortifying ordeal. Something like that. It was a really long title. So the title of The Irresistible Urge to Fall for Your Enemy makes sense. Next one, I'm gonna go back to the DNFs. It was Starlight Air. This was a petty DNF. I DNF'd this book because of the modern language. And I'm not joking. There's a line in this that says, thick thighs save lives. They also mention beast mode. They also, I can't remember everything that was said. I think I've just blocked it out of my memory. I'm not joking. I got 90% through the book. And I was like, I literally cannot take this. You're in a fantasy world that has absolutely nothing to do with our modern world, and you're gonna tell me you're about to say beast mode? Absolutely not. No, bye-bye. Oh, the next one is The Hunger Games. I will never shut up about this. It is so good. I read this in like middle school, as one does, and I reread the entire series. Every single book would be under this category. I read the entire series a couple months ago. I do have a vlog on that if you want to go check that out. It is, I think I'd include spoilers in it, but anyways, I loved this series. I think the political commentary is incredibly relevant. I think the way that she blends a teen kind of story with sophisticated issues, and it's just good. It's just so good, and I'm terrified to watch Sunrise on the Reaping in theaters because it's gonna be traumatizing. Everybody that says, oh my God, I'm so excited for Sunrise on the Reaping has not read the book. Okay, you have not read. If you know the trauma that we're about to experience. Are you really excited about that? Okay. Anyways, the next one, Six Scorched Roses, which is one of the novellas. No, the only novella. It's in the Serpent and the Wings of Night universe, and this is between the first and second books, and it was like I don't think it was even 200 pages. I can't even remember. It was so good. I loved it. I think the main character, I think she definitely is autistic coded. I don't know if she's actually autistic. Don't quote me on that, but to me, she felt like she had autism, and I resonated with her so much. I think it was a adorable story, and it was just like a really short love story, and I loved it. It was so good. House of Blight. I'm gonna put this under, here's the thing. I think I'm gonna put it under I had fun, but I've not thought about it since. And that doesn't seem like a really rave review, which is unfortunate because I met the author and she's absolutely wonderful. I think I really had fun in the moment, but I can't tell you I probably can't tell you what it's about. I think it's good and I think you should read it. Anyways, moving on. Okay, to get another one out, A Fate, Fortune, Fire. Listen, this one was honestly a personal reason for DNFing. I think there was something that was introduced very, very early on and it felt very pushy, and it wasn't necessarily like a trigger, but it made me kind of uncomfortable to read about it in the certain setting. I'm not gonna elaborate. It's fine. I'm sure it was a great story. I didn't mesh with it. Heavenly Bodies is another that I will never shut up about. This one is the perfect romantasy. I read this in January of last year, right before I read Onyx Storm, and I just love it. I reread it again before Fallen Stars, and this is another one where the first book, if you thought the first book was good, just wait till you get to the second book, because oh my God, it was incredible. The world is just beautiful. The characters are fantastic. I cannot wait for Holy Monsters, which is the third book that's coming out next November. Oh my God, it's gonna be so good. Yo, I'm starting to get a little loopy over here. Next book is Silver Elite. I don't know why I didn't DNF this book. Why did I read this? I don't know. I did not like anything about this book. No, I take that back. I liked that it was like a military setting, and I liked one of the characters. That's about it. I think the main couple had no chemistry. I think they were very cringy. I think that this story went in a very obvious direction, and it had my least favorite trope, which is fake death. I rated it 2 stars. I should go back and rate it 1 star. I know it's popular, but that didn't influence me on this one. Blood of Hercules. This one is gonna go under meh. I honestly thought I would love more Greek mythology stuff, but everything Greek that I've read, I honestly have not liked, other than like Percy Jackson. It was sarcastic, which was fun, but it was almost too sarcastic and too flippant, and there was a lot of dark humor in it, which I don't mind dark humor. I think dark humor is fantastic, but like, I don't know, it was just a little overbearing, and I just meh. That's why this one is labeled meh, because there's really not much else to say other than meh. The Sword of Kaigen. I had the best time with The Sword of Kaigen. It's a standalone, and I really wish Emma Wong was writing more in this universe, because there's definitely more stories to tell, but she has said that she's not going to continue this universe, which is really, really sad, because really loved it. But it was another one where these characters are young and they have a huge responsibility put on their shoulders to protect the town that they're in, and it's very emotional. It's pretty intense because there's battle scenes. The mom is an absolute badass. I had the best time. I will probably be rereading it at some point, especially if I need like a standalone or like a palette cleanser or something like that. It's okay. It's not really palette cleanser material in the sense it's like fluffy, because it's not fluffy. It made me cry. But it's just one of those like, I know I'm gonna enjoy it. So, you know. Next book, we're gonna go with The Second Death of Locke. Ding, 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 another DNF. Okay, this looks so disproportionate because here's the thing. City of Gods and Monsters has 4 books. Lady of Darkness has 5. Book of Ezreal has 4. This has 5. This has 2. This has, okay. So if I were to put every single book on here, there would be way more up here. But now this looks so disproportional. I sound like a really terrible person. And I'm on all these books. That's so sad. Second Death of Locke, I DNF'd like halfway through just because I got bored. Like, the plot at the beginning seemed interesting, and then it felt like it changed directions 10 different times, and I was like, where are we going with this? Like, this seems aimless, and I mean, the characters weren't bad, but like, I just didn't really resonate with them, and so I was like, meh. We're gonna move on. Alchemized by Senlin Yu. Oh my God, I will never shut up about this. Guys, this book is just trauma on trauma, pain on pain. It's just a tragedy. That's the only word that I can use to describe it. It's just tragic. If you're not familiar with the story, definitely read like the synopsis and trigger warnings and stuff, because it's very much like Handmaid's Tale meets Harry Potter meets, I don't know, what other tragic things you can put in there. I don't know. I think it was very intriguing the way that she wrote it, because she wrote it out of chronological order, but it made so much much sense to write it that way. I had a great time. I will never shut up about this. If I could put this in every single recommendation video that I ever make, I would. Arcana Academy. I'm gonna put this under, this was good. I had a good time. I think it was great. It was very much like fall academia, magic. I think I described it as like One Dark Window meets a little bit of like Harry Potter with the like magical academy kind of setting, meets a little bit of like a heist aspect towards the end because of what they have to do. I'm very excited about the next book because the ending to this one was very intriguing. And I have not read an ending quite like it. It wasn't necessarily like a shocking ending, but the choice of where to put certain characters and where they go was very interesting. And I can't wait to see how it's gonna play out, especially with like the romance, because there's a little bit of romance in this one. And it's classified as a romantasy. So we'll see how that one goes. Listen, I'm gonna try to get most of these DNFs out of the way. The next one is The Scars Within. There was a lot wrong with this book, and it felt like it was trying too hard to be Fourth Wing. And there were countless grammatical errors to the point where I was listening to the audiobook and I got very confused about where we were in the timeline, because some of what she was talking about were like flashbacks, some of it was in the present moment, but it flipped back and forth between present and past tense, and not in the sense of like, oh, the time is changing, we're back in the past. It was like in the same sentence trying to talk about the present. I don't know how to explain it. It just really threw me off, and the dialogue was not good. The next one, you know what? Let me just find all my DNFs. Let's just get these out of the way. A Fire in the Sky made me so uncomfortable because it pretty much had in it. And I know it was part of the trigger warnings, but usually when that's part of trigger warnings, it's not like on page. It's like just mentioned or like fade to black. No, this was like full blown. Basically the situation was it was an arranged marriage, and obviously like they consummate the marriage after the wedding, and you were in her head and she was very clearly opposed to it, scared, shaking, like she didn't want to do it. And then you get the guy's POV and he's being super possessive and gross about it. And I could tell that that was gonna be the male main character. And I was like, if he's thinking these things about her this early on, like this is a really unfortunate situation. I just was so uncomfortable by it. Anyways, Scalebound was another that was just, it was just poorly written. It was too basic, too simple, I guess you could say. Just the dialogue was terrible. It just wasn't good writing. And the same thing for Eminent Trials of Quietus. I could not tell you a single thing about that book, but I got 60% of the way through. I just bleh. In the Name of Honor, this one, yeah, it was badly written, but also it was info dumping and the characters were terrible. It was like trying too hard to fabricate like the funny side character and that he has a relationship with the female main character, and then there's just like broody side character. Like it was just very formulaic and not in a good way. Okay, that's all the DNFs. So we're done with DNFs. We can go to happy stuff now. We're gonna go in order now. Shield of Sparrows. This is gonna go under I had fun, but I've not thought about it since. I think I rated this 4 stars or something like that. I'd probably put it at 3.5, 3.75 now. I enjoyed it in the moment. This was, I think, partially because I read it after Silver Elite, and because I didn't like Silver Elite, going to Shield of Sparrows, I was like, wow, this is so much better. I'm having such a better time with it. And it was fine. I mean, like, don't have anything really bad to say about it. It's just like, I wasn't absolutely obsessed with it, you know? Guild. That's gonna be, why did I read this? I know, so many people are gonna be like, oh my god, how could you? This is Play to Prisoner series. It is very known, very loved in the book talk community. And I read the first, second, and third books. I don't know why, because I was caught up in the hype and like, I have to love this because a lot of people put these characters on the same level as like ACOTAR characters, and that's a tall order. And I read it and I really think this first book felt like one long prologue. The first and second books could have been one book, in my opinion. Even most of the third book, it could have all happened in the first book for me. Like if you would have just made it like 600 to 700 pages in the the first book, you could have covered pretty much all of what happened up until the end of book 3. And I was just fed up because it was being dragged out for way too long. And I was bored. I was so bored. The Knight and the Moth by Rachel Gillig is gonna go under I had the best time. I loved this book. Oh my god, I love these characters. Oh, Bartholomew. I love Bartholomew. Yeah, that's all I have to say about that one. Rose in Chains. This is another, I'm gonna put it under I've had fun, but I've not thought about it since. I really enjoyed it. It's gonna be a trilogy based on the Dromini fan fiction of The Auction. And I have not read The Auction. I did read Manacled, so going into Alchemized, I knew what to expect, but I did not read The Auction. I have it on my Kindle, but honestly, I don't know if I plan to read it though. I'm not gonna put it under meh because I thought it was really good. And I recommend this book for sure, but it's not like if I'm gonna make a recommendation video for like TikTok or something like that, this is probably not gonna be the first one that comes to mind. A Fate Inked in Blood. That one, I'm gonna put this under I had the best time. I think this was so good. This was based in Norse mythology, which I'm obsessed with Norse mythology. Anything to do with that I think is just so fun. So I went into this expecting great things and I was given great things. And that's a really good feeling going into a book, actually getting what you're expecting. And the second book, I don't know why it got so much hate, but like, I loved the second book. I rated the second book 5 stars. I think it was fantastic. And it's a duology, which is so nice because it's not super long and not a huge commitment. It's just good. Daughter of No Worlds. Oh my god, I'm never gonna shut up about this. Oh my god. It's a trilogy, and I think it's another one that is the perfect length. The magic system was really cool in this, because at first glance it was like, wasn't super complicated, and then there was an introduction of something that was kind of like a symbiotic relationship between some sort of being and one of the characters, and it was like 2 characters living in one character. It's hard to explain unless you read it, and I don't want to spoil it, but the way that this story was woven together and the way that you genuinely don't have an idea of what's actually going on until like you get a little bit further and you're like, wait a minute, this is starting to make sense. And you get like all points of view. Like there's a side of the war, and then a third party. And it's all like, you get all of these POVs and it's so fascinating because you see like what each of them are fighting for. And okay, not all of what they're fighting for is good because obviously there's a good and a bad side. But like it just explores the concept of like, there are no really good sides in a war. And a lot of people chicken out after the second book because of an introduction of a POV, but I tell people you have to keep going because it's gonna make sense and it's gonna blow your mind. Serpent in the Wings of Night. That one is gonna go under this was good. I had a good time. I love Carissa Broadbent, like I just explained. Daughter of No Worlds is top tier, but I read Daughter of No Worlds before Serpent in the Wings of Night, which I don't know if that impacted my opinion on it. It was very different. Not a bad different. I have not read any other vampire romances except for Bride, and that was a very different experience. But I think this series did a really good job about, there were trials in the first book, and it's so weird to read books with trials because it's so hard to expand on that plot and make it go somewhere, because if the main plot point is the trials, then like you really don't have anywhere to go. But she did a really good job about like setting up the trials, making it a thing, but putting in political stuff around it so the next book had somewhere to go. I will say that I liked the first 2 books. I loved Six Scorched Roses. I wasn't a huge fan of The Songbird and the Heart of Stone, but I really enjoyed The Fallen and the Kiss of Dusk. I think that definitely leveled up the series for me, and oh my god, I am so excited for The Lion and the Deathless Dark, which comes out in August, which it's about Septimus. which is so crazy to me, and I'm very excited about it. Next one is Slaying the Vampire Conqueror. I'm putting this under I Had the Best Time. I think this is the best standalone I think I have ever read, other than maybe Alchemized. I really enjoyed this romance. I think it was the perfect pace of romance. Like, there was a little bit of slow burn, but it wasn't like absolutely agonizing or drawn out too much. I loved the way their magic system worked. They almost had like this cult aspect in there, which I think is fascinating. Yeah, I loved it. One Dark Window. Ooh, I think I'm gonna put this under that I Had the Best Time. Or maybe this was good. I'm gonna downgrade it. I'm gonna put it this was good because I thought it was phenomenal. I had a really good time with it. I have thought about it since, but it's not like my favorite thing in the world. I think it was very unique. It was very different than what I'm used to. And I do prefer The Night and the Moth over One Dark Window. And I think Two Twisted Crowns was really, really good. I liked Two Twisted Crowns more than I liked One Dark Window. Ruin and Rising. I probably should have put Shadow and Bone on here because this is the third book, but I read the first two books in 2024, and then this was the first book that I finished in 2025, and I'm gonna put it under. I had fun, but I've not thought about it since. I loved Six of Crows way more, and I started Shadow and Bone with the intention of reading Six of Crows because I like to read, like, if there is a series out there that it's like, oh, well, you don't have to read it beforehand, but it's good to read it beforehand. I like to read them beforehand, and I've been proven correctly every time. I think this story was so good. I really enjoyed it. I mean, again, it's not like the best thing in the world, and okay, maybe I've thought about it like once or twice, but mostly in connection with Six of Crows. Onyx Storm. Ooh. Okay, so I rated it 5 stars. The more that I think about Fourth Wing, the less obsessed I am. And that sounds terrible, but I think I'm just finding a little bit too much of a cliche. I'm gonna put it under This Was Good because I really, really enjoyed it. I think it was a very good way to expand the world and introduce more elements of high fantasy that we have not gotten in the last 2 books. It's been very romantasy heavy. This is a book about dragons, and it's sexy and it's fun, a little bit tragic, but like their world was a little confusing and I wanted more from the world building, and Onyx Storm gave me that. It gave me more of the politics and how everything works out, and I read it in 3 days, which is honestly average for me. I read it as soon as it came out. The first video that I ever posted on YouTube was a reading vlog for Onyx Storm, and I had a good time. I was shocked by the ending. Oh my god, I'm still pissed about it. The Night Ends with Fire. I'm gonna put that under I Had the Best Time. This was so good. This was a Mulan retelling. I didn't expect to love it as much as I did, but it's a duology. The Dragon Mix with Thunder is even better. I think it's a very intriguing concept to have your female main character more motivated by, like, she was a little bit power hungry and she had a really unfortunate upbringing, and it was kind of her moment of like, you know what, I'm done with this. I'm gonna see what the world is about, and I'm gonna get involved with the search for this magic and what's all going on, and I'm gonna claim it for myself because of so many things. But The Bone Raiders, that's gonna go under meh. It was fine. I rated it 2.5 stars. This was the only book that I've read by a male author other than like The Maze Runner in middle school, which I mean, I remember the story, but like not into detail. And it was about a group of nomadic warriors basically. And I don't know, I think I was a little bored with it. It was just fine. I wouldn't read it again, and I'm not recommending it, really. A Dance of Lies is gonna go under This Was Good. I loved this book. It was so beautiful, and the female main character is a dancer, a performer, and there was a lot of that in the book because I feel like a lot of times if there's a book where like she's an assassin or like she is this or this, you don't get a lot of time witnessing them doing that certain thing because the plot takes off and they end up having to do something else. And that's also kind of why I love Lady of Darkness, because you get her in her I'm an assassin era. Yeah, I think the next book, To Dance with Death, comes out soon and I'm very excited about it. Six of Crows. I'm gonna put it under I will never shut up about this. I am completely obsessed with it. Oh, this unlikely group of teenagers allying. Oh my god. I love them so much. I know I'm saying like similar things for the books at the top here, but I genuinely don't know how to express how much I love these books individually, other than telling you that like I love them in their own ways. The heist aspect was so much fun. I think it was very like high stakes and like, you know, I really like the Now You See Me movies, and I think it's because I like heists. I like these intense criminal activity kind of things going on, and that was, you definitely get that in Six of Crows, and I've not read anything else quite like it. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. I think I'm just gonna put it under this was good. It wasn't like groundbreaking. I enjoyed it mostly just because this is very nostalgic, and I've not read the whole series. I've only read the first one, and I'm kind of saving it for those moments where I feel like I'm slumping because they're just easy. Obviously I guess you could kind of say they're children's books, maybe middle grade. Not much to say about that one. I love it. I love the Harry Potter movies. It has a special place in my heart for a good reason, and I wanted to experience the books. Direbound is gonna go under meh. I think this one was trying a little bit too hard, and I've not thought about it since. I would put it under I had fun. Like, it was fine. Dude, I don't know how to explain this one. I think I wanted to love it more than I did, and I was disappointed because I didn't. Yeah, that's a good way to explain it. Fearless. Oh God, I know you're gonna hate me for this. I put it under why did I read this? I finished it. Listen, I didn't DNF it, guys. I read the whole thing, and oh my God, it was terrible. It was so bad. I liked Powerless, and I kind of enjoyed Reckless, but then I get to this book, and it was just bad. It was a repeat of the first book. The side quests with Kit were just not good. I have not read the Fearful novella. I don't plan to. I didn't like it. I just didn't like it, and that's the fact. To Cage a Wild Bird, the very last book on this list, I'm gonna put that under this was good. This was good. I loved it. I enjoyed it. It was a dystopian sort of fantasy vibe in there, and it was like a deadly prison that they're sent to basically die at. Like, there's really no chance of getting out, and they are selected by the public to be thrown in basically an arena and told, hey, make it to this tree in the center and you'll live. But these civilians can hunt you in this arena. They have weapons, you don't. Good luck. And I think it was so good. And she falls in love with a guard, and it's very juicy because it's a very like forbidden sort of romance because she's a prisoner and he's a guard. Oh, it's so good. Oh, so good. That is it. All of the books that I read this year, guys. That's so crazy. Granted, I know I didn't go through every single one of them, but those are my general thoughts on all the series that I read. I had such a good reading year despite my long DNF pile. It's fine. I still read over 80 books this year, which I think I need to pat myself on the back for because that's absolutely fantastic. Let me know if you read any of the same books that I did, or if you're adding them to your TBR, reading them this year, whatever you're doing with them. I would love to know. And if you've made it all the way to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time, my friends.